Massive news for crypto this week. Ethereum upgrades, Polygon's new wallet, crazy stats, Tron news, Injective news, Aave news, Aptos news, and more. Make sure to stick around as well for the last story because it is both huge and also shocking in that it goes against basically everything that analysts have been expecting. So make sure to stick around for that one. Okay, first off, let's talk about Ethereum. Preparation is currently well underway for Ethereum's Shanghai upgrade. This is due to come sometime in March, although an exact date has not yet been given. The latest news from the Ethereum developer camp is that the devs have created a shadow fork. Now, a shadow fork, this is a fork of the mainnet, but it's used only as a test net. It's been created so that Ethereum developers can actually test the conditions needed for Ethereum staking withdrawals in a more real-world environment. It's been a week of basically deliberation for the Ethereum developers, going back and forth on the details of the withdrawal feature that's going to be unlocked by the Shanghai upgrade, letting, millions of Ethereum potentially come back into the market. They have decided to exclude the EVM object format from the Shanghai upgrade, which would have made the network easier to upgrade in the future. But there were concerns if they delayed the withdrawal feature going live, that it wouldn't be awesome for the network, and they decided that must be the #1 priority right now to unlock all that staked Ethereum and give people the option to unlock. The testnet shows that developers are committed to pushing forward with the ETH staked withdrawals coming soon, so it's very exciting. Also, Lido Finance has presented a design proposal for how the liquid staking platform is going to end up supporting Ethereum withdrawals post the Shanghai upgrade. Lido's plans will have 2 modes in particular. Now, the first mode is called Turbo Mode, which will process unstaking requests as quickly as possible, while the so-called Bunker Mode will be triggered under mass slashing conditions. In other Ethereum news, Vitalik Buterin has put forward a pretty damn exciting idea. He put forward an approach to start using stealth addresses for Ethereum. Now, stealth addresses, basically private addresses, will enhance the security of transaction data by concealing the identity of the people involved. Now, Vitalik's concern is that stealth addresses are not going to provide any easy way to pay transaction fees. So he's proposed 2 recommendations. The first approach involves ZK snarks and would be a much more expensive alternative, as it requires a lot more computational power. The second approach involves specialized transaction aggregators and does seem to be his preferred solution. Now, look, it's really big news to add a security layer to Ethereum transactions to actually allow for more privacy on the blockchain. And it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Ethereum just keeps delivering the goods here, guys. Now, speaking of teams who deliver the goods, Polygon. Let's get into the Matic news. There are 2 big stories today, so if you are a Matic holder, you gotta watch this. First, Polygon has passed Ethereum to become the #2 chain in terms of daily active users. Now, that is according to Token Terminal, which shows that Matic is coming in at 344,000 daily users, which is just behind the Binance chain at 781,000 daily active users, but ahead of Ethereum's 324,000 users. Matic, man. Matic. That's one chain not to fade moving forward. Also, Polygon has launched its first non-custodial wallet with no seed phrase vulnerability, having integrated with a company called ZenGo. Now, the ZenGo wallet leverages biometrics and MPC cryptography so that users can actually safely set up and thus secure their wallets from any kind of iOS or Android device in just a few minutes. The wallet also has a built-in firewall, which ends up helping users to avoid mishaps when making Web3 transactions, as we see so frequently happen. These simple mistakes can just result in a complete loss of all your crypto, which is terrible. And not a single ZenGo wallet has been taken over since the company began operation in 2018, which is a pretty impressive track record. Head of DeFi at Polygon Labs said that digital asset security, it is still one of the biggest concerns for, well, basically everybody, right? Especially when it comes to those just starting their Web3 journey. This is why the integration of ZenGo is so beneficial to Polygon's end users by allowing them to reliably and thus to securely self-custody their cryptocurrencies. This also aligns perfectly with Polygon's sort of more broad mission to onboard the next billion users to Web3, making the space as accessible, as safe, and of course as inclusive as possible. Big quote there, but Sounds like Polygon, they're ready, man. They're ready to bring on 1 billion people to crypto. They do have ambitious plans, and they're a team that has definitely delivered. Next up, let's talk about Tron. It's a crazy story, man. Tron is in the process of becoming legal freaking tender in the Caribbean island of Saint Martin. What? A member of parliament has initiated a bill proposing to make Tron the country's blockchain infrastructure of choice, and the Tron-based cryptocurrency will then be a form of legal tender for everyday use on the island. The country is looking to follow what another country actually recently did, the Commonwealth of Dominica, kind of next door-ish. They announced that Tron is going to be used for their national blockchain, as well as 7 different Tron-based cryptocurrencies being accepted as legal tender inside the country. Crazy stuff, man. One thing you can certainly say about Tron's founder, Justin Sun, the dude is everywhere and he is ambitious and he gets stuff done. That's crazy. Next, let's talk about the Injective protocol. They announced a $150 million ecosystem fund. Boom! That's a lot of money. That's insane in particular because the coin, the INJ coin, only has around a $200 million market cap. What? That is some serious money that believes in the future success of Injective. We saw big names like Pantera and Jump Capital coming in to back this ecosystem fund. Now that fund, that ecosystem fund, the aim of it is to support projects building on Injective who want to link in with Injective, particularly those looking to leverage DeFi, scaling, and interoperability. Now this proves a few pretty interesting things to me. The first, big money. They got the money still, and they're happy to drop just like, boom, big checks of cash into the crypto space right now. And the second thing is that Injective is something to pay attention to in the next cycle. That's a lot of cheddar that they got stacked up there, man. Now, before we get into the big Aptos news and the Aave news and the insane macro news, I wanted to let you know about my weekly crypto investor newsletter. It's called Wealth Mastery, and every single issue is just jam-packed full of alpha. We talk about airdrops, we talk about NFTs and DeFi and altcoins and market analysis and news and much, much more. Join over 50,000 weekly readers by signing up for free, Use the link down below in the description. Let's talk about the Aave news. Crypto's biggest borrowing and lending market, Aave, is getting a pretty damn big upgrade. So Aave v3 is set to go live on the Ethereum mainnet as the protocol continues to expand, of course, in its multi-chain approach. Now, Aave is already launched on Avalanche, Optimism, Polygon, Phantom, Harmony, and Arbitrum. The Ethereum launch is going to support 7 different tokens initially. We have wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped Ethereum, wrapped staked Ethereum, USDC, DAI, Chainlink, and of course, the Aave native token. Now, pricing for all assets except for the wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped staked ETH will come directly from a Chainlink feed. Wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped staked Ethereum price feeds are going to end up relying on a price adapter smart contract, which is going to be based on, once again, Chainlink feeds. Aave v2 on the Ethereum mainnet is actually the largest DeFi lender by total value locked. V3 of the protocol is going to exist alongside the previous version, much like we have with Uniswap, for example. So users will have the option of migrating their positions from one version to another. And of course, generally migrating means you're going to have better capital efficiency. Now let's talk about Aptos and Ethereum Layer 2 optimism as well, because just because we're in a bear market doesn't mean we can't see new all-time highs. Yeah, not for Bitcoin, but some altcoins can and have been, which is pretty crazy. And that's exactly what we have seen happening this week. So Layer 1 blockchain Aptos gained like 44% in one day. It was up like, I don't know, a couple 100% in the past few weeks. Been smashing new high after new high this week. I guess I just got too greedy at the bottom, wanting to get Aptos for $1 instead of just, throwing some cash in at $3. Oh well, can't catch them all. Blockchain analytical firm Kaiko has said that this has been due to NFT activity as well as potential institutional demand on Coinbase for the Aptos token. Now, another token that's made new all-time highs this week is actually Ethereum Layer 2 protocol Optimism. So since the start of the year, the OP token has actually ended up being one of the best performing tokens as the Layer 2 narrative just continues to grow in relevance, right? It's up like a couple 100% since the start of the year. So don't let the bear market vibes blind you to to the opportunities. There is money to be made out there in the markets, and somebody's making it right now, with some of the coins literally making new highs even in these market conditions. But the big story of the day is that the numbers have just come in for the USA GDP growth in Q4, and despite all of the headlines about the doom and the despair, the US economy grew by 2.9% in Q4. What? That's higher than the 2.6% which was expected. The USA only saw 2 negative growth quarters in Q1 and Q2 last year, and Q3 and Q4 were both actually positive in terms of growth. So inflation, it's falling in the USA, job growth remains steady in the USA, and the Fed is nearing the end of their rate hike cycle. Crazy. All of this provides the necessary narratives to pump up the markets, and markets are, so much of it's about narratives, man, and these are the narratives the market wants to see. And while many still fear a recession in 2023, the data is showing that may not actually end up being the case, or if it is the case, then the recession could actually end up being quite a shallow one, not the, new Great Depression that a lot of people were fearing. Okay, that's it. Subscribe now. See you next time.